Morning.
Good morning, Your Majesty. We are so delighted to have the opportunity to spend time with you today. We were just talking about the remarkable movement that is the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, and that right now, all around the world, young people in our network will be providing practical help to others. We now have 1,000 young people with us in our network. And the young people on our call today are providing the most extraordinary range and depth of practical help and support to others every day. And they're bursting to tell you news of their stories and their work.
I'm the founder and represent the Guyana Animation Network, Inc. This is a nonprofit organization that provides digital and creative skills training, opportunities, and resources to children as young as 5 years old and youth in Guyana, the Caribbean, and South America. I am honored and thankful to you, ma'am, and the Queen's Commonwealth Trust for providing critical funding to Ghana during the pandemic last year. And this allowed us to scale upward 18% more young people than we've had in past years. This was due to our scaling to our first e-learning platform, which enabled us to reach youth beyond within the comforts of their homes, many of them wanted a creative outlet to cope with the pandemic, and some of them launched their online businesses as well. In addition to our wonderful training activities, QCT funding also enabled us to produce 806 3D printed face shields from medical professionals, particularly frontline workers in our indigenous and rural communities. And this was also due to our partnership with 2 youth-led 3D printing businesses, that it enabled us to provide access to tablets to children in institutional care, which also enabled them to be able to be innovative during the pandemic as well. Your Majesty, I am honored to represent my team today from the standpoint that even while we're in the pandemic, the future of digital technology and creativity is already here. It's no longer future, it's here. And we recognize that in some parts of the Commonwealth, particularly in the Caribbean, young people still do not have access to quality education, resources, and role models to prepare them, and also to have their voices added to global innovation and creativity. And this is where our work comes in. We try with our annual activities to equip them further. We're not trying, but we actually do equip them with the skills that they need to prepare them for the present and digital future. Thank you to you, ma'am, for your continued encouragement to young people and your support to QCT, which has enabled GAN to continue its activities during the pandemic. And we know that your support is something that will help us to amplify the voices of young people in our community, as well as enable them to get access to global jobs in innovation and creativity now and further ahead.
It's really interesting to hear about it.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Very good.
And as you can, thank you. And as you can see, this is some of their creative work behind me. They decided to showcase their artwork to you today, and I am happy to represent that.
All right. That's very good, isn't it? Good background for you.
As I speak now, I am at one of our centers in Kigali, the capital city. And ma'am, if you allow, I'll give you a brief tour of that center. This is in our training room, and this is where all the magic starts. Young people come here with just ideas and walk away with ready to launch social enterprises. When young people graduate from the training, we celebrate them. And I want to show you one of the ways we celebrate them. We use this really famous Wall of Fame. And it's on this Wall of Fame where we post pictures of young people who really are making positive change in their communities. I have one example to share with you, Your Majesty, today. Nina here joined our program in 2019, 19 and went on to launch her social enterprise in agriculture. And last week, she was celebrated on the national television for creating more than 80 jobs for young people in the space of only 2 years. And of course, there is the picture of you, Your Majesty, and myself. How exciting. And I want to quickly take you out to this really beautiful Sunday in Kigali as I head to this signpost where most really positive and famous brands of young people are posted on this signpost outside of our office. And all these are doing wonders in their local communities.
Well, that's splendid, isn't it? To have made such a difference to people. And that picture of you and me when was that taken?
Back in 2015.
Was it? That was the first time you came over, was it? That's
Yeah,
splendid.
that was.
Well, thank you for telling us all about it.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty.
Good morning, Your Majesty. Indeed, I'm pleased to be sharing this stage with my fellow young leaders, and I would like to thank the Queen's Commonwealth Trust for giving our organization this opportunity. Your Majesty, I'm deeply honored and humbled to have been entrusted with this opportunity to be here with you today. My name is Safat Ahmad Zahir, and I proudly come from the Maldives. I am the founder and president of Women and Democracy, which is a leading nonprofit organization working towards women's economic and political participation and good democratic governance in the Maldives. In the recent local council elections and WDC elections 2021 of Maldives, 83 women who successfully took part in our trainings got successfully elected to democratic office to represent our local councils and WDCs. During the pandemic, we launched our rapid response program to act as a timely lifeline for vulnerable women and girls affected by the COVID-19 crisis. At first, we established our very own support services helpline to women and girls experiencing domestic and sexual abuse. And we provide them with psychosocial counseling and refer the most urgent cases to emergency shelter or other safe spaces. Your Majesty, I'm very pleased to share with you that with the QCT grant, a total of 130 plus women who were experiencing violence were assisted with prompt, quality care and services for their safety and mental well-being. Secondly, with QCT's support, we also strive to improve access to menstrual materials to vulnerable women and girls who were affected by the COVID-19 crisis as well. Your Majesty, on behalf of our organization, Women and Democracy, we extend our gratitude for your continued support to our organization. Ma'am, 6 years in the running, we have made some important strides, but our work is far from being finished. We remain committed in protecting women and girls' human rights in all circumstances, in fostering their capabilities in every field, in unleashing their power in all dimensions, through interventions and strategies that build women and girls' resilience and empower them with our main objective to create equal and just societies.
That's very interesting to hear about it. And it's obviously been very successful.
Indeed, and we have a long way to go.
Indeed, yes. Go on trying.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I'm the founder of Alike, a game-changing charity created to combat loneliness and isolation amongst people impacted by cancer, especially young people. The story of Alike is rooted in my own diagnosis. When I was 19, I was diagnosed with a chronic form of leukemia, which eventually required a bone marrow transplant in 2018. It's easy for me to say that cancer completely changed my life. I know that young people with cancer are impacted by a different kind of loneliness. When I originally went through treatment, I felt lonely in a rural North Yorkshire village that I grew up in. And later, I felt lonely in the heart of central London, where I worked. For me, speaking to other young people with cancer was essential, empowering, and life-saving. So Alike's mission is simple but bold. We want to combat loneliness. We created a brand new peer support platform for cancer patients and survivors, and we call it the Alike app. This app provides someone who has been diagnosed the opportunity to speak to someone else who just understands, right in the palm of their hand. The Queen's Commonwealth Trust helped Alike when we needed it most. It propelled us forward and provided us with credibility and conviction. £5,000 might not seem like a lot of money to some other organisations, but to us, this was the first step in making our vision a reality. We launched our app publicly at the beginning of this year, and we've already had nearly 1,500 people join. The digital world opens up opportunities for everyone to be seen and heard. We want to amplify the voices and experiences of the cancer community and provide visibility to marginalised communities impacted by cancer as well. We help people find support, whether it's a late night or a lonely weekend, which makes a huge difference for people in rural areas, in hospitals, everywhere. Alike is about love. Love, community, and passion has brought together a team of incredible people who are committed to making life better for people impacted by cancer.
I think the very interesting thing about listening to all of you is how much teamwork matters. And I think with the Commonwealth Trust, it's obviously very, very important. Thank you for telling me all your experiences and wonderful work you're doing. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.